So, quick video talking about using a existing wood stove and to make char. I didn't come up with this idea, got it from somebody else. They've, believe the account on YouTube is Edible Acres. Check him out, he goes into this in detail. Essentially what we're talking about making is charcoal, and this stuff is 100% pyrolyzed. So I've got a bucket that I've made already. This is the last batch I did, and you'll notice the lid's covered in fly ash. Fly ash is really hard to do unless you're operating at extremely high temperatures, so that's a hint. So what I do is I just took a roaster that fits in my wood furnace, my wood boiler, and just packed it full of small pieces of wood and set it in the fire and let the because the way the lid sits in it, you can see it's a roaster, there's a groove around the edge. It's not an airtight seal. Expanding gases can get out, but it's hard for oxygen to get back in. That creates a zero oxygen atmosphere that bakes the wood gases out. The wood gases burn in your wood stove, your wood furnace, and that produces heat for the house. It's a dumb, silly idea. The way I'd always read about making charcoal was you build you take a steel drum, you pack it full, and you build a bonfire out in your backyard in the middle of July, and you bake your wood. And it wasn't until I was looking at this YouTube video with the fellow from Edible Acres where he said, why would you do that? That's not a permaculture way of thinking. He said, stack your functions. So he's got a wood stove that he uses, and he does everything. And basically, anytime he's heating his house, he's also making charcoal, and then he's also doing other things with the heat, like warming up mash for his chickens and stuff. So the charcoal for the garden, which is his primary consumption, basically generates 3 or 4 other effects. So anyway, I'm just going to show you what it is I'm doing. It's real easy. We're going to empty this pile out, and you can see how easy this stuff breaks. There's nothing left to it. It's 100% carbon at this point. So we'll empty this out. It does produce fly ash. That's about the only downside to it. But the fly ash isn't going to hurt anything. And so what I did was I pre-split a whole bunch of small wood, and I'm just going to pack it in here. This isn't difficult. I'm not doing anything really, some of this is getting a little bit too long, so we'll just pack around the edges. That's not going to go. Obviously, if you got a bigger, like I could be using a bigger roaster for this, but where I didn't know how well it was going to work, this is a bit of a mad science experiment. So until I knew it was or wasn't going to work, I didn't want to really commit any big resources to it. Yeah, that's about all I'm going to be able to get in here. I think that's probably more than enough. Yeah, that'll go like that. That's the end of that. As long as I can get the lid to come down over it, we're okay. Nope, doesn't fit. Okay, so that's going to have to wait for another turn. So yeah, just as long as you can get your lid to sit down close. What I've done in the wood furnace over here is I've got basically a bed of coals to work off of, and all I'm going to do is just put this right in there like I was baking some chicken or something. In this case, I'm baking wood. Here. And in about 5 minutes, and that's all it's going to take, pyrolysis will start. So we'll come back in 5 minutes, we'll pop the door open, you'll be able to see the ring of fire burning around the lid of the roaster, which is being used as a retort. Alright, so we'll be back in 5. Alrighty folks, so I don't know if you can hear that roaring in the background. That's what's going on in the wood furnace right now. We're going to pop the door open, I'll show you what it looks like when pyrolysis is happening. Don't do this without expecting a lot of heat. Oops, smoke. So So if the camera will just peek in, you can see that there's fire all the way pretty much around the back side because it's tilted at an angle, it's going to rise. The gas is coming out the back. All the flame you're seeing in there is the gas escaping from the retort. And that's basically running on the heat from the wood underneath that's baking, and then of course baking the gases out. And you can see that there's a little bit of other smoke being produced. But yeah, this is actually aggressively burning all of the air out of the wood furnace, so that's the reason it was kind of smoky when I first opened the door. But that's what it looks like. It takes about a half hour, 45 minutes. This will burn out, and then the charcoaling process is done. That's it, folks. So yeah, and we're getting to recover all of that heat that's being made because this is a water boiler. So instead of wasting the heat in July, heating the outdoors, we're making charcoal and using it to heat the house. I don't know why this was a revelation. It seems really obvious when you say it that way, but yeah, surprise. So shout out again to Edible Acres. Thank you so much. And that's the video. All the best. Bye-bye.